What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. You're like, what is going on? This is 9 p.m. Eastern Time on a Monday night. What is he even doing? Well, I'm trying something new. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. People keep asking about it, and I keep thinking about it too. Putting back into place somehow the gear news. We stopped doing it because I was so busy. And I was thinking, I want to do the gear news, but I want to change it up. I want to change up the format. Instead of just listing a bunch of stuff that just came out, I'd rather have a conversation with you all about it. I'd rather just hang out and talk to you about this new gear that's coming out. So I've got a list of stuff that I want to show you that has come out, and we'll just chat about it. Some of the stuff I haven't even really looked at, so we're going to learn about it together. It helps me to get your opinion kind of in real time when we do these things live. As always, the live streams are ad-free. So if you want to support the channel with some other way, like a super chat or a super sticker or some such thing like that, you are welcome to do that. If not, that's totally fine too. There will be links to everything that we talk about in the description of this video. Those are affiliate links, and they do help out the channel. So you don't have to use them if you don't want. It doesn't cost you anything, but I just let you know they're there. That's another way you can support the channel. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, then you can also just, watch and hang out and chat and comment and such. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do gear news this way live. And I don't know, I actually was going to do it last night. But we had company and work-life balance stuff. I was like, you know what? We're just hanging out and having fun with my friends. And the kids were over and stuff. So I didn't want to cut that short. So we just moved it to tonight. So I'm like, we're going to figure out a time to do this. It's probably going to be Sunday night, so that we can have our normal video on Monday. That's why I didn't do a normal video today, because I don't like doing two videos on the same day. YouTube doesn't like that. So we're going to do probably the normal video on Monday. And I was thinking maybe on Sunday night or something, just, hang out and chat about gear stuff. So I'm very curious to get your thoughts. Oh, crap. Hang on one second. Okay, so I forgot to grab something, so Leslie's going to grab it for me. Let's go ahead and look and actually ask questions and such. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to put some stuff up on the screen. I might not be able to see your questions at the same time. Oh, thanks for the hat compliment. We'll just set those right over here outside of the shot until we're ready to show them. Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar, we make pickups. And so we're going to discuss, first of all, I'm going to show you the new stuff on Dylan Talks Tone. Then we're going to get on to some other gear news. You see, we're doing a new thing. You see it up at the top of this page right here. It says next vault drop. So this is a timer that counts down till Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. At that time, if we come down here to the pickup vault right here, this is going to have new drops in it every week. We're going to try this for a while, and if people like it, we're going to keep doing it. There's going to be limited drop stuff, okay? And I'm going to show you a few things that we've got in here right now. You'll see some of this stuff is already sold out. We've got a sweet new shirt. This is the old Dylan Pickups We Are Real, the conspiracy t-shirt with the Sasquatch and the alien. We've got the Make My Day t-shirt, because for those of you that like the pew pew stuff, I thought that would be kind of a fun, tasteful, kind of fun way to put that on a shirt without being too, gun tubey. And then up here, we've got a couple of very interesting pickups. These are laser etched with, this one has flower patterns on it, and this one, I think, where's it at? It might have sold out. Nope, it's here. Okay. Has leaves on it, which is pretty cool. Those are done on the laser. You can pick whatever humbucker you want to put in that pickup, and we will make that for you. And then the other thing that we've got going this week, and we're almost out of these, by the way, is the bronze soap bar P90. So this is bronze mesh soap bar. It will patina with your cool guitar. Super neat. These dropped last week. Okay. The other thing is we're also doing these hats that we make in-house, right? Like the hat that I'm wearing currently. I think there's only one of these left. There might be two, but I think there's only one left. So just FYI, these are really cool. What I do is I only order the hats themselves in small quantities, and then we put the patches on them. So when they're gone, they're gone. So that's pretty cool. So one of the things I want to show you, though, is that was that, but I have a sneak peek of next week's drop. I've got a couple of things here from next week's drop. That's what Leslie was getting me. Let's see. First of all, Tony Leonardi. Thanks for the super sticker. I appreciate that very, very much. Let's see if there's anything else in here we missed. The new Tele pickups look awesome. Okay, so that's what I was going to show you. So this is going to drop Saturday. This is a tortoiseshell topped pickup. Actually, spoiler alert, this is not going to be sold. I'm actually going to make some more of these. This particular one is going to go in the Johnny Switchblade Tele. I didn't ask Doug. I think he'll be cool with it. He likes weird tortoiseshell stuff, so I think he'll be cool with it. That's the one with the pickup that goes underneath the pick guard. So anyway, that's going into a guitar, and then we're going to make a few more of those for sale for this weekend's drop. And I don't know if those of you are super true OGs from many, many, many years ago, 10 years ago, but I used to make completely clear Telecaster pickups. And we are going to do it again. So this is the first set, and we are going to drop these this weekend. So if you want totally clear Telecaster pickups in your Tele, those will drop this weekend. They're going to be about $20 more than the normal ones because they're a little involved. But that's that. So I just want to share that with you. For those of you that are not familiar with what we do here, that gives you an idea. Of course, we have all of our other products, normal pickups and all that kind of stuff. So definitely check that out. Okay, let's get on to some real gear news. And I'm just going to share this stuff with you. Get your comments on it. This first one is a little on the wacky side. I always, when we did these gear news things before, I always started with something kind of wacky. And we have Taylor GS Minis with your favorite baseball team on them. Obviously, I would get the Yankees one. Makes total sense. But this is weird. They're $800. And you could get a GS Mini with your... I don't know. Okay. Cool. What do you think? Will you buy one? I bet they will sell as many of these things as they can make. I 100% believe it, even though it's probably not something that I'm personally into, because I wouldn't actually buy the New York Yankees one because I have real jerseys and stuff, so I don't know why I would need it on a guitar, but that's pretty interesting. The next thing, this is a big deal here. Let's talk about this for just a few minutes. This is the Jason Isbell signature Telecaster pickup set. I was not aware, and if you guys want to get in the comments and tell me I'm wrong, please do, because this is just not something that I personally connected with. I'm not a massive Jason Isbell fan, but I do really like his guitar, the Tele. But I didn't know that they were so cool that people liked them enough that you would want the pickups that were in them. Let's scroll down here and look real quick. Looks like Tim Shaw designed these, of course, because he's there. So we've got, let's see, from a 1965 Tele. So this is interesting, modeled after a 1965 Tele. So what we've got is a 2-wire bridge with a 3-wire neck, which is interesting. So you'll be able to set this up for 4-wire, for 4-way switch, which is pretty cool. 6.7K bridge and a 6.2K neck. That tells me that neck pickup is a little lower output. That's interesting. So the neck pickup's probably not as 60s as the bridge is. But that's interesting. That's an interesting setup. It'll just sound like it'll be a good sounding pickup. It'll just be a good sounding tele pickup. $150. That's cheap, you know? So if you want those in the 3-way thing, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you order pickups from us, just tell me you want them 3-wire and I'll just solder an extra wire on there. I know there's other companies that'll charge you like an extra $15 or something, but we'll just do that for you. So don't worry about that. Let's see. The next thing I want to talk about is this. I want to get y'all's thoughts on this. So this is a quilter. You know, quilters are pretty stinking cool, honestly. Their power supply, their tone for what they, you know, how they work and stuff. We all know that if you're going to get a very powerful, I don't even like to call them solid state because I know their power supplies are not traditional solid state stuff. But to get an amp in a box with some actual power behind it, this is pretty neat. For $400, and it's in a pedal. It's got an effects loop. It's got a bunch of circuits in it. I don't know. I think this is a really fantastic thing to play with. And I think for people that play live, they will really, really dig this. There's a bunch of different speaker emulations in here. Your in-out is going to be awesome for playing live, so you'll be super flexible. Wireless input? Wow, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I didn't see that before. That's pretty cool, actually. Hang on, let's see what anybody says here. Hang on, I'm just checking. Let's see. The Jason Isbell pickups sound good. I put them in my latest tele build. Okay, cool. I don't like the Yankees stuff being blue. It should be black. Oh, yeah. Well, it's white pinstripe, and I actually don't like that either. My buddy still has his tele with the Dylan Flat 6s with the carbon inserts. Oh, yeah. I think we're going to do a run of those. I like doing those, too. The carbon inserts are hard to do because they, I got to cut them by hand. The laser can't cut carbon, or at least my laser can't. Well, anyway, let me know what you think of this thing. This is an interesting one. For $400, it's amazing to me, the functionality. In fact, we're going to see another thing here in a minute. The functionality that you can get for $400 on a pedal board. And I know, you know, we don't even need to get into the argument about tube versus any other application, right? The guy that buys this or the gal that buys this is to fill a need. This is to do a job on a pedal board for a particular rig, whether they're playing in a certain band, whether they're playing with a certain road setup, whether they're playing in a praise and worship situation. These things are, you know, I think people get really hung up on tube versus whatever. But anymore, what I see is pick the thing that fills the needs of your playing the most, right? Because if you are constantly fighting with something and it doesn't fill your needs, you're never going to sound as good as you want anyway. So just look through this stuff, be really critical of it, and get the thing that fills your needs the best. You'll play better, you'll sound better, and you will get better tone, really, you know, because you're fighting with it less. You know what I mean? I think that's the way I'm looking at this stuff. All right, so these are weird. I don't know how I feel about these. I want to buy something like this to have it. I don't know if I would play it, though. That's the only reason I haven't bought one. I almost bought a Strandberg the last time I was at Sweetwater. The Ibanez Q series has been redone. Headless guitars are very popular right now. They may not be popular in your circle, but on the whole, they are selling very well, and they are very popular. I would probably chalk this up to a lot of the social media based guitar players who are using them for different styles of guitar other than the more traditional stuff. And you know, right? You know who plays this stuff. I think this is pretty neat. It's not out yet. It's not in yet. It says it's not in stock yet. Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna jump back over here to the comments really quick because I kind of want to know. This is what's kind of fun about doing these this way. I want to know what you guys think about this stuff. Let's see. Built-in power amp on a Tonex or a Helix. I don't know that that'll ever happen, to tell you the truth, because we've got so many other options for that. I think what's going to happen with this stuff is there's going to be companies that are going to kind of stay in their lane for what they do. I think, Tonex is going to, when you think about Tonex, so you bring up Tonex, a good one for this whole staying in the lane thing. Tonex is Amplitude, right? All Tonex is a user interface to put a software on the floor so that you can interface with it without a computer. So it's a piece of hardware to interface with what the software is. Tonex isn't Kemper. Tonex is Amplitude. They are a software company. They are a company that makes software to make guitar sounds. And the two things we have now, the Tonex and the Tonex One, are interfaces for that. So are they ever going to put a power amp in it? I kind of doubt it. Maybe. I could be totally wrong. But I really think that the power amp folks, Quilter, for example, who really lean into that and are very good at that and have done a very good job at that over the years, even before any of this stuff was kind of popular, they're going to do power amps because that's what they do. And so, again, this is going to come down to the tool that you need, right? And finding the kind of the mix between things. And the other thing, too, is that the stuff's going to be coming down and down and down and down in price, right? So, and what I mean by that is, I think instead of having an all-in-one thing, let's just talk about this for a second. Instead of having like an all-in-one thing and having it be this big and have everything in one thing and have it be $2,000, okay? Quad Cortex, full-size Kemper, etc. It makes more sense to me. This is just my opinion, but it makes more sense to me to have less expensive. The Tonex is $399. The Tonex One is $299. This Quilter thing is $399. So now for $500 or $600, you could have everything and it's this big, but you picked the most important things that you wanted and you built your little thing and it's only this wide and it's $600 for the entire thing. Instead of buying, because I did this, I had a full-size Kemper and I sold it because I only used like 2 or 3 profiles. It just had way more stuff. You spend $1,800 for stuff and you're only going to use 3 or 4 profiles. I mean, for me personally, that's what happened. So now I have a Kemper player and it's great because I can toggle between a few profiles that I use. It's not overkill. It's still kind of spendy, but it sounds great. But it's because it was that application. So I think a bunch of less expensive little components that you can put together that are like, we're going backwards. It almost sounds like, because like building pedal boards instead of having everything in one. But I really think you could pick the best of everything and end up smaller and end up cheaper. That is my opinion. I don't know if that's true totally, but that's the way my brain works when I see all these various components. We're going to look at another one here in a minute. Yeah, we're going to look at one here in a minute. Any clean amp works with the Tonex. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Let me go to the next thing here. Okay, so speaking of going backwards, not going backwards really, but we've got this new Peavey tube amp, the Peavey Invective. And this is, it looks very 6505-y if you ask me, but this is a collaboration, I think, with what's his face. I'm terrible about names. Yeah, Misha Mansour. That's what I thought. 30 vintage 30 speaker. It is a 20 watt high gain combo. So this is a they're touting this as a high gain amp that you can play at regular volumes, you know, or more acceptable volumes. It's got 20 watt, 5 watt, and 1 watt settings. I wonder what those sound like. It's got a boost and a gate. It's got, what is the in out on this deal? It's got an effects loop, and it's got an XLR direct out. I think this thing is cool. If you're a high gain person, this is kind of neat. I kind of dig this. And it's got the old school Peavey logo on it. That's like worth buying just by itself. That's wicked cool. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's look at the next thing. Going back again. So this is what I'm talking about. So this is, do any of you have any of this Zoom guitar related stuff? I've had microphones. I have, audio recorders. I have a Zoom H5 and I have some other stuff. I've had that camera. I've had some other stuff. Do any of you have any of their actual guitar related stuff? I should buy this. I should buy this. Actually, I think Zoom is on the list. I'm going to see if they can send me one of these. Because I'm curious how good it is. Because I've never used any of their guitar related stuff. So this has over 80 IR patches for a bunch of different speaker stuff. It has a bunch of effects in it. But this is basically a bunch of amps in a box, more or less. I can't remember how many it said of the main amps, like 6 or something, with a bunch of different. Oh, here it is, 23 amp models, amp sim, reverb, effects. It's the same thing. Oh, built-in headphone jack, but it's the size of a pedal, man, and it's $179. I wonder how good it is. I wonder if I should call them and see if I can get one of them. That's neat. I don't know. But see, this is again, there's a lot of folks that we know, that you and I know, that would probably turn their nose up at this. However, for $179, this fills a need for a lot of folks because not everybody needs a Kemper. Not everybody needs a Helix. You know what I mean? Size, cost, all those things. And I think it used to be that if you bought something on this side of the arena for $175, it sucked. And you had to get a Kemper, otherwise it sucked. And I just don't think that's the case anymore. Do I think that everything that's $179 is just as good as a Kemper? Absolutely not. However, I think the ramp between them, the delta, I guess I should say, between them is a lot narrower than it was. And I also think the lowest common denominator is a lot higher than it used to be. So that's an interesting one. I'm interested in seeing that thing in person. Let's see. I've had various Zoom pedals. The old 505, it was great until it got warm and then it got fuzzy instead of driving. Oh, that's interesting. My wife heard you mention the clear tele pickups and she looked over at me and said, ask me if I had that I need new pickups look on my face. Yeah, you do. You do need new pickups. You need those ones right there. Those aren't sold. Just FYI. You gotta wait till Saturday though. Okay. All right. Next. This is not the guitar that I linked to, but the guitar that I linked to is already sold out. So this is kind of funny. My thumbnail says, do we need another one of these things? But apparently we do, because there's 2 colors and the other color is already gone. It seems like if you put EVH on anything and you put Frankenstrat on anything, that everyone wants it. I don't personally understand it. I guess I would have one because they're cool. But I don't know. This is one, okay? People talk all the time about, I'll never play signature guitars or whatever, I'm not going to play something with somebody else's name on it. And I'm like, well, Leo Fender, Orville Gibson, I don't know what your problem is. But anyway, this is an interesting one because this is the one signature guitar that I would not play at a gig because it carries so much pressure. Because even people that don't know what guitars are know what that is. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I don't know it. I don't even know any Eddie Van Halen songs. Well, why are you playing his guitar then? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not going to do it. Anyway, I think it's funny. Oh, I didn't put it up on the screen. Sorry, guys. Yeah. If all this stuff was available in 1982, I'd probably be a musician. So funny. Anyway, let's see. I think that's it. I think that is all of the things that I wanted to share with you tonight. Please let me know what you thought of this little format of just coming and hanging out and chatting about this stuff and finding out about new stuff together. We'll be a little more streamlined about it next time. This is my first time doing it this way. So we'll make it a little more concise, but I do like the idea of chatting with y'all about it. I didn't know that a couple of you have had some of these things. So this is cool. And thanks for talking to me about the Jason Isbell pickups too. Let me know what everybody thinks about those. I like this a lot. I like this idea a lot. So let me know in the comments if this is something you want us to do again. I'll probably try it next weekend with the latest new stuff. There's a bunch of links in the description. If you use those links, they will help out the channel. I would appreciate it if you did. Even if you don't buy anything, just go click around. Because what it does is it tells the companies that you're looking around. And even like if you just click around on the website and then be like, oh, Dylan sent you over here, it helps. It doesn't make me any money or anything, but it helps. So when, for example, if I want to get one of those Zoom things, I can call them up and be like, hey, can you send me a Zoom thing for a review? They might actually do it if they see that everybody's really interested in a lot of this stuff. That's kind of how it works. So anyway, I just want to mention that. Super cool. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. This has been great. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow for the podcast.